The internet doing what it does best has been a buzz, asking the most random question of 2024 thus far. Many people debate in favor or against the popular BBL procedure, with some ignoring the potential risks involved with the surgery.
Unfortunately, studies have now shown that it has the highest mortality rate, death rate, in all of plastic surgery. There was a study that showed that literally 1 in 3,000 women who undergo this surgery die from it.
And these are healthy.
Whether that be for attention or self-satisfaction is a question we will answer in this video, but one question will be the highlight of this video as we explore the ins and outs of the cosmetic surgery, its risks and potential benefits, all while answering what's on everyone's mind. Do BBLs stink? Join me as we take an in-depth analysis into the ever-popular cosmetic procedure known as the Brazilian butt lift. So, what exactly is a BBL? Otherwise known as a Brazilian butt lift, it's a procedure first done by Dr. Ivo Pitanguy, a surgeon in Brazil back in 1996. The premise of the surgery was to give the patient a more youthful, curvy appearance and correct asymmetries. However, one thing that isn't spoken of as often as the potential benefits that women seek is the procedure and potential risk involved with it.
Welcome back. Well, the family of a Tennessee mother who lost her life after undergoing a popular plastic surgery procedure in Miami is suing the surgical center and the doctor who performed the operation.
And it's a case the NBC6 investigators have been following for years now. Miriam Masihi has the latest.
33-year-old Erica Russell, a mother of 5, left her home in Tennessee in 2021 to travel to Miami for a Brazilian butt lift, or BBL, the plastic surgery procedure that has one of the highest mortality rates.
Speaking of, how are BBLs performed anyway? We'll let Dr. William Miami give us the rundown. Doctor?
Some fat here that we've harvested from liposuction, and then I usually will make a small incision. Here the incision was already made, and then I pass this cannula. This is what I use to inject the fat with. And I pass that underneath the skin. I'm just going to show you here. And you see how it's not going perfectly smooth? Because there are little septations. Can you see these fascial layers here? You see this white material here? This is fascia. The fat will actually come out. And that fat is going in, watch, that fat is going into the other fat. Here we go. And you see how that gets distended? You see how the fat is moving? And you can see now, you can see it coming out that hole that I had made earlier, and that's the fat. Obviously that would be contained when we're working in the body, and that's how we get this tissue here.
All right, now first of all, that's nasty. That's nasty. Listen, I know it's a cross section, so obviously there are some things that are going to be dripping out, but ladies, no guy, none of us want this.
Men prefer a natural body or a BBL? BBL. 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 Do you prefer natural bodies or BBL bodies?
Natural. 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 Natural.
Do you think men prefer?
Now, I may not look it, but I'm pretty fucking old. And I remember growing up back in the day, there were the times where women were just all natural. You know, they had the natural hair, natural bodies, very limited makeup, very Sade and Aaliyah type vibes. And you know, nowadays we have something that I don't know if I would qualify as a woman, and I don't mean any disrespect by that. I'm not looking to offend any communities, but it don't seem natural. And ladies with the BBL, I need you to get up in these comments and really divulge on this. Why? Like, okay, if you're not making money off of your body, not that I condone it, also at the same time, not really condemning it either. I mean, do what you do. But if you're not making any money off of it, what is the point of having a BBL? I don't know. That's question of the day. Anyway, let's continue. All right, so we know when this started and when the first procedure was. But let's be honest, none of us really heard about this until like the mid-2000s. So the ultimate question is, who set the trend? As dangerous as the procedure is, women in the millions opt to get the surgery regardless of the ramifications. We see the influence of BBL and cosmetic surgery culture in nearly every facet of our lives, with the majority of men being introduced to BBLs by some of the women in our communities, whom have been influenced by women like Kim Kardashian in the early 2000s and consequently have been in our faces ever since, especially with the manipulative practices of social media. Now, obviously, we all know the practices or manipulative practices of social media. We see how it plays in and out. And for someone who's in an industry like me that does things like modeling, it's very easy to see how some photos can be contorted and altered in order to give a certain type of perception. And this doesn't just happen to women, this also happens to male models as well, but it all gives the user or the viewer the illusion that these people are perfect. Trust me when I tell you, especially me, none of us are perfect. It's no doubt that men have it bad, especially with the rise in male beauty standards. However, that isn't to say that women don't have it doubly so when we talk about peer-to-peer societal peer pressures placed on women to get these cosmetic surgeries. I want to emphasize peer-to-peer influence because men, in fact, do not want long-term relationships with women who get BBLs. In fact, I can confidently speak for a majority of men when I say we see women with BBL bodies as something to play with, not necessarily something to take serious. Whereas women with natural bodies are ideal partners for a long-term relationship. And I gotta be honest, it's very true. Before I became a model, I was a personal trainer, still a personal trainer. In fact, if your back is still big, click the links down in the description below to download the fitness app. We've got fitness programs for men and women, but more specifically for men. Anyway, guys, check out the website. It's called fitarfitness.com. You can get the app on the Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before, as a coach, I spent a lot of time training a lot of women who wanted better looking bodies, they wanted better butts, things of that nature. And they always compared it to someone who had like some sort of surgery. Although some of these women may not have been able to see it, which my personal opinion, I don't know how you're not able to see that, but you can't compare a natural body to a BBL body. BBL bodies aren't even proportionate. The butt doesn't even match the legs. Ladies, as a side note, before we continue into this documentary, if you're gonna get a BBL, please make sure the butt matches the thighs, because y'all walking around here looking like ants. It's kind of weird. The irony here is that more times than not, more women of color who are naturally curvaceous tend to get BBLs more than any other ethnicity. However, that is not to say that other women from all walks of life aren't getting the same procedures done. Social media echo chambers like the ones that can be found on Instagram, Reddit, and such post pages dedicated to cosmetic surgeries, looks maxing topics, and how-tos, all with the aim of achieving the perfect look. The sad truth is that once many start on this path, plenty get hooked on the self-sabotaging wheels of endless cosmetic surgeries and end up looking more often than not disfigured versions of themselves many surgeries after. And again, this definitely does affect women, but to put my guys in the spotlight, this also affects men too. It's a very interesting topic if you were to look up black pill or just, black pill philosophies. One thing that disturbs me the most is seeing how many young men are inclined to follow some of these tips. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with improving your looks. There's nothing wrong with self-improvement at all. But there's a difference between self-improving because you want to just maximize your potential and self-improving because you hope people approve of who you are and therefore accept you in the end. And one of those has damaging ramifications to one's not only psyche, but their self-esteem too. And I think the important thing for all of us to learn is, regardless of where you fall on the spectrum of looks, there's only so much you can do to actually improve them until they actually start becoming a detriment to you and not a benefit. So we've covered the risks, the potential benefits, and the societal ramifications of getting a BBL. But let's address what's on everyone's mind. Do BBLs stink or no? Well, remember what Dr. Miami said he uses for the procedure? Apparently, these fat lipids tend to secrete out of the incision site. Don't believe me? Check out this clip here.
As someone who's Dominican, I'm going to explain the BBL smell. So everybody has just started talking about this, but honestly, the smell doesn't come from the butt or from the vag. The smell comes from the fat excretions that are coming out. So when women have liposuctions and BBLs, about 3 weeks later, all the way up to 3 weeks later, they have excretions, actually grease, that comes out of their body, and it has a putrid smell. That's one of the main reasons why I just stay the way that I am and just try to work out and do the best. Because you gotta be really brave to get a BBL or any type of liposuction surgery. So the BBL smell is not because of women's pH balance, it's not because they don't shower, it's simply because it's fat excretions that are still coming out weeks after the surgery is finally done. So if you do smell an awkward smell around somebody that had a BBL, it's because of the fat excretions and liquid coming out their body.
So listen up, ladies. Don't go around getting these kind of BBLs, these kind of surgeries, because primarily, you don't need them. Listen, I could understand if you've got a flat back. Shout out Coach Greg Adams. I can understand if you want some more curves, things of that nature. But you can always go to the gym. I tell my female clients this all the time. Listen, you can go to the gym and get better results than you would if you were to get a surgery. Yes, will the doctors go ahead and take some of the fat from your stomach and put it in your gut? In some ways, kind of deleting two birds with one stone? Yeah, sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, not only do you still have to work out, you still also have to maintain what's been, not removed, but I guess fucking transferred from your body, right? And considering everything that we've covered today in this documentary, this video essay, I would hope you would want to reconsider if you've actually listened to anything that I've been saying here. I hope that you actually do reconsider this, because again, listen, at the end of the day, us guys do not want BBL bodies. Yes, do we want to have fun with them? Sure, why not? Yes, I've been to Vegas, have ran into plenty BBL bodies. I've had my fun with them. But is that something that I want in the long term? Not necessarily. Now, for the guys that want to do pump and dumps, whatever the case is, I don't necessarily think that's a cool idea. But if that's something you want to do, then have more BBL bodies. The more the merrier, right? But ladies, I guess ultimately you kind of have to make a decision. What kind of category do you want to fall into? Obviously, no one likes being put into a box, but in a world where we all live by some regard, stigmas to an extent, you kind of have to get in where you fit in. And if you're going to be the type to get a BBL, my only suggestion here would be at least make sure you make some money off of it, because the last thing you want to do is get a fat transfer, smell, and then on top of that still be broke and have no man. I don't know, that's my opinion. You let me hear yours in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like this video essay. If you like it, I'll make some more. If not, then I guess I'll just keep finding ways to keep you guys entertained. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.